I hate the intro. I miss Freckles. I play the old intro Freckles over the top of the new intro animation because I missed it that much watching it as a kid.
I'm just watching the show. He walks in where there's a bunch of naked people making drugs, and like their eyes and mouths are sewn up, and it's like supposed to be unsettling. And then he walks, it's like, wow, boobs. We have to watch this. It's like.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of Life is Daijoubu.
Hello.
We are your hosts. I'm Sky.
I'm Thane.
No, I'm Thane.
No, I'm Thane.
If he's Thane, you're Thane, we're all Thane. Today I'm Cole.
Yeah, that's Cole. I'm Thane. That's Thane. That's Thane. Welcome to the Thane podcast.
I got my G Fuel.
Yeah, G Fuel.
The whole thing's full.
We got a fun episode for you guys.
1,000 milligrams of caffeine.
We're going to be talking about our favorite energy drinks. We're going to be talking about Thane's haircut. Just kidding.
No, don't want to.
Today we're going to talk about One Punch Man. That was the show that we watched for the week. We're not going to spoil our thoughts on it.
One Punch. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
So I spoiled my thoughts. My bad.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later. I don't think we have anything else.
We got chairs finally.
Yeah, we do got chairs. The set is finally put together. Last episode, we didn't have our table. Now we've got our new table.
No, we did have the table, didn't we?
We had the
We didn't have...
We had the other table.
Oh, so we got a new table. We got the chairs.
Yeah.
We go, dude.
I think
Let's
the
go.
only other things that we're wanting to add to the set is... Since Thane's got a backlight, we're going to try and get a backlight for Cole and for behind me. Because it looks really good. Like, if you look at Thane, man, not only is Thane a good-looking guy, but, like, the light really just makes him pop.
He looks angelic.
Very. And me and Cole are just sad.
I'd like to clean up the shelves a little bit more, too. Like, they're not bad by any means, but literally it's just my junk that I couldn't fit in my room. That's all this is on the shelves right now.
Here's another Xbox 360. I believe this is like the 7th one we have in this house.
I know that one's mine, but I got another one in one of those boxes over there.
I've got 3 in the house. We have so many 360. Do you have your 360 still?
I don't know.
His 360. I don't know if my dad ever did yours, but Thane's 360 sounds like a jet engine.
Yeah.
No, your dad never fixed one of mine. I did the towel trick, and that worked. Until...
Did you have to do it to one of your consoles?
Well, not necessarily. I did get... My first one was refurbished already, so like I'm sure someone had already done all the stuff to it. Mm-hmm. But like every now and then it'd pop up, and I tried to do the towel trick, and like it didn't do anything. Then like the next day it worked just fine. So I was like, whatever.
Gaming. Thanks.
You don't know. 360 was crazy back in the day, but this is an anime podcast. We're not gaming yet.
Yeah, we're not gamers.
Very
not gamers at all.
hardware.
Speaking of rushing things, I rushed to finish One Punch Man, so I didn't look up any news.
I got a bunch of news. So
I got
good.
one news segment.
I'll let you go first, thing, because I'm pretty sure I have what you have on the list.
Nier Automata aired it was on hiatus due to COVID for a while, and it finally aired its last 4 episodes all at once this Saturday. And then afterwards they announced a Core 2, which I assume is next season.
Oh, I don't know if they did dates. That was literally the first thing on my list, so I was right. They did have
It's probably next season, how much time they've been given. I don't know. If it's a Core 2, then yeah, they probably were
It could be winter, I imagine.
Yeah, they probably need more time.
Winter or fall.
Yeah, something like that.
Hopefully this is like the end of anime getting postponed because of COVID.
It's funny that you say that because I've got some anime delays to announce.
Wow.
Hopefully none of my shows.
Am I actually the strongest? Episode 4 is delayed. I don't remember what it said is delayed to, but it wasn't like a big delay. And then, so that's it for the seasonal shows. And then Classroom of the Elite Season 3 is pushed to 2024.
You've seen both seasons, right?
Yeah, that's on my watch list, essentially. It's interesting because it's just like, I feel like we have to have a delay section of the news now because of what's been going on over there.
You know, part of me is like, man, that sucks. I really hope it's not COVID. And then the other part of me is like, man, that's just their cop-out to just... It's because people can't argue that. You can't be mad at that.
No. I mean, like, I also wouldn't be mad at them just saying, yeah, we want more time on these episodes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad either.
But, like, it's got to be some kind of, like, crazy logistical nightmare because they have to fill the TV slots, too. And like if they're just rerunning shows, like it's just like people don't care to watch a rerun. I don't
Are
know.
most of these delays? I guess that's something we'd have to look into. But are most of these delays from very prominent studios? Like, is it the big boys on like their B teams that are delaying stuff,
I don't know.
or is it indie studios?
It's probably a bit of both.
Near Automato's A1 Pictures.
Oh, yeah, A1's big.
Yeah. So there must have been a lot of people that got sick.
I guess the reason I ask is because it seems like these really big animation studios every season are always putting something out.
Yeah, basically, or they might skip one season and then get back into the next season. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's not been a ton of delays that I've noticed. Granted, I've not looked super close into what studios are doing the delays, but yeah, A1's the only one I could think of because of the near. Yeah, I don't know.
Who did Uncle? Because that got delayed for a long time.
I don't know.
Golden Kamuy got delayed.
No,
That's a good reason why that one was delayed.
That's
though.
true. That guy died, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was
died.
One of the producers or something.
I feel like it was probably the first or second season of this show that a bunch got delayed.
It was last season, or
was it last season? No. 2 seasons ago?
No, it was last season, but we did have a couple random sporadic ones like Uncle. That was like season 1 of the show, or like the first time we did a couple episodes of the show. But anyway, so yeah, shows are being delayed, so just keep that in mind. One of your shows might be delayed. I'm glad I'm not the TV producers looking to fill the slots, because like imagine doing a rerun and people just leave your channel because they don't want to watch a rerun. Like, it must suck. Anyway, so we're going to run through a list. I'll save this big one for end because I think Thane of all people will be excited about it. So first up, we've got Oda. One of his one-shots that he did before One Piece, called Monsters, is getting an anime adaptation. So I'm assuming it's going to be like a 45-minute long animation, if I had to guess.
That's interesting.
Has he had anything prior to One Piece get published?
Just one-shots.
Just
one-shots, and then he hit it big with One Piece.
But serialized One Piece.
Nothing was animated.
No.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
He was literally just doing one-shots and then assistant work. And then One Piece got serialized, and he's never done. He's done a couple side things, like 2 or 3, but 2 of them were related to One Piece. The other one was something else, I think. But other than that, yeah, just One Piece.
He was so focused on One Piece, he famously or infamously said, "I won't stop working for anything, even if my parents die. I won't go to their funerals."
Jeez, Oda.
He was probably like 20 and just gung-ho about life.
And now he's like 40 and just like,
He literally he takes like every 3rd week off.
He should. Yeah. I think he should.
And he can. He's like, I got money, and Viz likes me.
Yeah. It's Shueisha.
Shueisha. Viz is like the English subsidiary of it. Anyway, so piggybacking off of Oda, this isn't necessarily news that I have on my list, but it's just talking about the One Piece live action a little bit. They released another trailer recently. I watched it. I think it looks cool. I honestly do. Like, I've seen this, or not rather seen, I've read this part of the manga that it's adapting, and like probably my favorite part of the entire manga that I had read is going to be in the live action, because they showed a clip of it in the trailer, and I was like, dang, cool. I hope it looks good. It looks fine. The action looks fine, in my opinion. The CG doesn't look bad, and Oda signed off on it, so
that's cool.
Here's to hoping that's going to be decent. I think it looks cool. What do you think, then? You're the resident One Piece.
Or at least it'll be bad enough. I haven't seen the trailer. I didn't know there was a new trailer.
I'll show you after.
At least it'll be bad enough to say, hey, let's get a second season to see if it gets worse. It's like people like to hate watch like shows like Riverdale. It's like, man, I hope these keep getting seasons. I love this crap.
Trash.
So next up, we've got Boruto Returns, August 21st. And this is the manga specifically I'm talking about. And its tagline, just like Naruto had Shippuden, its tagline is going to be called Two Blue Vortex, which is really dumb. It's just basically an exact translation of what it is in Japanese, which is like...
Is that like 2 Rasengans or something?
Well, it's Uzumaki is vortex.
Oh.
And so if there's 2 Uzumakis, I'm not gonna like. It's okay. I'm just gonna say it. This isn't super spoiler, but the two Uzumakis obviously is Boruto and Kawaki. Okay, and based on things that happen in the manga, it makes even more sense why it's two Uzumaki. So, yeah. I don't think it's a great title just because it's a direct translation, but the meaning behind it makes a lot of sense, and I quite enjoy it. Also, they showed off some character designs for Kawaki, Boruto, and Sarada over the time skip.
Did they announce how long the time skip is?
It looks like a Shippuden art, like time skips, like a 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
Yep. Next up, and this one, I got this one for Thane, Gundam Evolution ends service in November 29th.
Yeah, I played it for I played the beta back in the day.
I think it was like
Back,
2 years ago,
Yeah,
a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I remember
It was just Overwatch with Gundams. That's it.
Didn't last very long.
Didn't last very long.
Rip.
Yeah, too bad.
I also have another Gundam game on Steam that I saw that's got mostly negative reviews. It's also free to play. It looks worse, but yeah. When are we going to get a good Gundam game for once? We're getting a new Armored Core. Why can't we just get a good, solid Gundam strategy type game?
They might be out there. You just may have to dig.
Honestly, there could be really good ones that are never were localized.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I know
just learn Japanese. Become a true weeb.
True, you could do the thing. I believe.
guess I could.
Then you have to import all these games.
Yeah.
Next up is one that I don't know anything about. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I'll do my best. It's Sabikui Bisco, I don't know. It's getting a season 2. So if you know what that show is,
good on you.
good on you. You get a season 2. Congrats. The next one's an interesting one.
Isn't that My Dress Up Darling?
No, that's Sono Bisque doll.
Oh, Sono Bistal. Okay.
I'm such a freaking weeb,
He
dude.
knows.
Did you know what it was?
Yeah,
okay,
I did.
good. Okay.
I didn't want to be.
You don't want to be
No,
that
I don't
guy.
know. I didn't know how to say it.
Isn't there a season 2 of My Dress Up Darling coming?
I'm sure there
guarantee it. Although where the manga is, it's really boring. I don't know if you're caught up or not.
I am caught up. I kind of like the last 2 chapters, but before that it was kind of rough. Like the cosplay party arc.
I wasn't
super
I wasn't
great.
looking forward to. I think it's bi-weekly or even monthly.
It's bi-weekly, yeah. This one's interesting, and I never expected this, but Sword Art Online Gun Gale is getting a season 2. Which was the spin-off
Yeah,
that didn't have
with the
anything to do
little
with Kirito. The little pink girl running
Yeah.
around with her pink P90 named P-chan.
See, I don't know if I saw that because I feel like the Gun Gale I watched, Kirito was in it.
This is a spin-off.
That was Sword Art Online 2.
Yeah, that was just the sequel to Sword Art Online.
Oh,
This is a
and then
spin-off.
they did a Gun Gale, which was a spin-off of
Yeah.
that season.
Yeah,
It's called
yeah.
SAO Alternative.
Yeah.
Well, P-chan sounds cool,
Kirito's
so.
not even in it.
Yeah.
Literally nothing about Kirito.
So watch is what you're saying.
It's fun. I enjoyed it.
I'd rather have a.
Did you see it, Thane?
Yeah.
Did you
No,
watch
I haven't.
P-chan?
I did not watch P-chan. I watched.
I loved it, dude. She's got this cute kawaii voice. She's like,
I watched-
P-chan!
I watched SAO all the way up to 2, and then I never watched. I
still
heard
need
the
to watch
third
the last
season, which is freaking long, was pretty good.
I need to watch the movies and then
Yeah.
the progressive series with Asuna as the main character.
Is it a light novel or manga?
It's a light novel.
Yeah.
Man, there's just a lot. There's a lot of Sword Art
Money
Online.
making
A lot of Sword Art Online.
franchise.
Makes a lot of money. Next up, this is another one for Thane. James Cameron says that he will work on a new Alita Battle Angel movie.
Wow.
Did you ever watch the first James Cameron one?
I have yet to watch it, but
I know people
I've
liked
heard-
it.
Yeah,
I think
I've
my
heard it's like
parents
one of the-
watched it, and I think they said they liked it.
It's one of the
You're like,
better
Mom, Dad, you like anime.
adaptations.
Like, you're weebs!
Got him. You played yourself.
I just want a full anime adaptation, but the creator is like, no.
That's the one with it was Scarlett Johansson, right?
No, that's Ghost in the Shell.
That's Ghost in the Shell.
This one had
Oh, it was kind of like a CG Alita. a
yeah,
little bit.
she had big eyes.
The
Yeah,
big-
yeah.
Yeah.
My
big
parents
anime.
definitely are the ones that saw this one because I
Yeah.
kept thinking it was the Ghost in the Shell, but Ghost in the Shell is weird. They would not have liked that movie. They probably
Yeah.
liked Alita because it's more just action and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. If my mom
Nobody
cared for it, but
liked Ghost
my
in the
dad liked
Shell
it.
really. So
Anyway, so the big one that I've got, and the last one we have, is Shinichiro Watanabe, the Cowboy Bebop dude, is teaming up with Mappa, of course, and Toonami / Adult Swim, because they're the producers, to make a new anime called Lazarus.
Huh.
And it's a, I wouldn't say cyberpunk, but set in the future a little bit. Looks really cool. They put out a trailer and it looks freaking great. Of course, it's Mappa. 'Cause why wouldn't it be?
They just do good things.
The music sounds good because it's also is Shinichiro Watanabe. He's not the music person. He's just
that's Yoko Kanno.
I think Yoko Kanno is gonna be doing the music for this as well.
I think I've heard about this. I saw Watanabe Kanno collaboration somewhere.
This isn't new news. It's just recently updated news. This is they announced this a while back. I don't think we brought it up on the show, but they released a trailer and a bunch of new information about it. So that's why I decided to bring it up now.
No announced date though, or release date.
Could be. I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
If I see it later on, I'll bring it up next time or whatever it comes up again. But yeah, the trailer looked cool. Like I'm like, yeah, I'll probably watch this. But I got heavy Cowboy Bebop vibes where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like it that much because I don't know if I like Cowboy Bebop that much. But that's just me.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Not live action. No.
Episode 1 was cool. I watched that.
I liked the boobs when I was watching in your room.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Everyone was dead, and it was weird.
I watched episode 1 of Cowboy Bebop live action. I enjoyed that episode.
This guy, I'm just watching the show. He walks in where there's a bunch of naked people making drugs, and like their eyes and mouths are sewn up, and it's like supposed to be unsettling. And then he walks, it's like, wow, boobs. We have to watch this. It's like.
That's the classic Skyline.
Yeah.
If you see somebody watching something that like has like a horny scene, he instantly will say, "I've got to watch this."
The scene wasn't even horny. It was disturbing. It was like, oh God, what the hell? It's literally like they're drug trafficking, but they're like don't know where they are, and then they all get murdered because it's like we're moving operations. It's like, yeah, this scene is clearly unsettling, and I just hear him come in like that. It's like
out of context, and the first thing I saw was boobs on the screen.
And there weren't even hot boobs. They're like old saggy person boobs.
Don't yuck my yums. Don't yuck my yums.
No, the show. I did not like the show. I watched the whole thing, and it's like, why did I watch this whole thing?
You hate watched it.
I hate watched it.
See, I tried to do that with
Seven Deadly Sins.
No, I had to turn that off because the last movie, the CGI was really bad.
Oh, you did actually just stop it?
Yeah, Thick and I were watching it. We were like 10 minutes in, and I was just like, this is gross. This is horrible.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not your
At
fault.
least you got the manga.
Yeah. Which
aren't those CG movies like direct sequels?
Couldn't tell you.
I know
that was the only one I tried watching.
I know there is a sequel to the manga, but it like doesn't have any of the main cast, but it's definitely, you can tell it's definitely a sequel.
The one show that I hate watched, it was the live action Death Note one. Fell asleep like 20 minutes in. I hated Ryuk's character, and I was like, well, that's it for me.
Did I ever tell you guys about how one day, like I made my parents and my brother watch a good portion of Death Note, and then one day my brother called me. He was with my parents. He's like, "Hey, Cole, we want to watch that live action Death Note on Netflix. Isn't it any good?" I'm like, "No, don't watch it. It's bad." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And so they didn't watch it.
Good for them.
Good for them. But they probably would have been fine with it. Let's be honest. They're not weebs.
Did you guys hear about the Russo brothers Death Note TV show?
Yes.
Not Russo brothers. It's the
Duffer Brothers.
Duffer Brothers, yeah.
I heard about that. That was a couple years ago when they announced that.
Yeah, it's like Duffer Brothers sounds good, and it's a TV show, so maybe it'll be good, but I'm not holding my hopes up.
Listen, I have faith solely because I feel like Stranger Things is really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like they'll do a good enough job where it'll be entertaining.
I need to catch up with Stranger Things.
The last season, I think, was my favorite season. Okay. The characters, oh man, they're so good.
All right. Well, any more news?
I've got no more news.
Okay.
That's it for me. We can talk about the shows we're watching this season.
Do you guys want to talk about, like, should we do the bangers that we think people should start watching now because they're just that good?
Okay. It'll be hard because we're kind of got a lot of overlap this season, I think. But yeah, let's do it. Let's do the bangers.
Maybe we should all just pick one show so it doesn't overlap.
Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay.
Then you want to go first?
I like Rurouni Kenshin. It's good shonen action, and it's based off one of the most classic mangas of all time. Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing else to say.
It's I'll weigh in on it because I'm watching it as well. I hate the intro. I miss Freckles. I play the old intro Freckles over the top of the new intro animation because I missed it that much watching it as a kid. But man, yeah, it's a fun show. It's like, I'm telling you, man, they need to keep doing these old anime remakes. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I know it's not like original or new or anything, but I'm into them. Urusei Yatsura, I'm so excited for the Spice and Wolf. Give us more. I
want David Productions to do Fist of the North Star, a full manga retelling. I'd love it, and I want to make him as gory as possible. I'd love to see that, and I hope we get it because Fist of the North Star is still pretty popular.
Yeah,
especially with old men and pachinko machines.
But anyway, Rurouni Kenshin, fun show.
Yeah.
Just dude doesn't want to kill anybody anymore.
But he literally like freaking mind breaks him with his sword.
Oh, dude, he's such a freaking gamer, dude.
Yeah.
His sword, he's got a katana, right? He switched the edges around though. So it looks like a normal katana, but if you look closely, the sharp end is facing him and the blunt end is away. So when he hits people, he hits them with the blunt end.
Yeah, he has like, they explain it's like he has like a sonic sword technique where he slashes someone, like he uses sound waves to stun them.
There's this scene in the last episode where this guy, like, he walks in this room with a bunch of all these bad guys and like they're all trying to talk to him and like, hey, what are you doing in here? Blah blah blah. And then he's like, and then one of the guys like, oh, don't talk to him. Like, we know who he is. He's like, he's gonna mess us up. There's a guy behind him stands up and is like, what do you want? And then Kenshin just goes, boom. And he flicks the guy so hard his head gets stuck in the ceiling above him. And I'm just like, whoa. Dude, I was pogging out of my mind. I was just like, let's go.
This dude's pogging out.
Cool. Moments earlier, his wiener got bit, so... weird.
We can't all win.
We can't all win. So that guy on the head in the ceiling, yeah, he's having an L day.
Taking the L's.
Yeah, good show though. I like that pick thing.
I think my pick for the banger that I think everybody should watch, and I don't know if a lot of people know about this one or not. They probably do, but it's Zom 100. Man, every episode is just awesome. It's very colorful. The action's great. The music's great. The characters are great. The story's great.
Super fun, too. I think my favorite part is how, like, I've... just being one of the manga readers, I've been able to, like, watch, like, the overall consensus of the fans as well as the new fans start to, like, come together and be like, yeah, this show slaps. We all need to be watching this show. Like, each week it's just like, dang, bro, this is crazy. And like all the people in the comments are just like, let's go. And like I see the popularity, like the numbers start rising up and up. And it's super, super funny because like on r/anime, I like to go to the discussions on those as well. And so on Sunday, there's two shows that will top the r/anime upvote charts, which is Mushoku Tensei and Zom 100. And every time I see someone's like, cool, everybody likes Zom 100 too, let's go, because it needs to be watched.
Yeah, it's a banger. If you haven't started it, you should start it, because it's really, really good. And then after you finish the season, go read the manga, because it's really, really good
so
too.
Fun, dude. It's really easy to read now too, because Viz Media is putting them on the Viz app. So $2 a month and you can literally read the whole thing, save for roughly 2 volumes that aren't translated yet because they're back translating them as they come out in physically. But when those are out, you'll basically have the full thing plus as they come out every other week, I believe is what it is. So good stuff.
Yeah.
I won't pick my obvious pick, which would just be Mushoku Tensei. You've heard me talk about it enough. I'm going to say it's a tough one. There it is. Liar, Liar. I'm going to pick that one. It's not that great, but it's still kind of fun. So I don't know if I would say the banger. My banger pick definitely would be Zom 100, like Sky picked. Then Rurouni Kenshin really is like the second one right behind it. But Liar, Liar is a lot of fun. It's very similar to Classroom of the Elite if you've watched that series where mind games kind of thing. It's got that battle royale-esque kind of feel, although they don't kill anybody in this one yet. I'm assuming that won't happen just because of the tone of this show. But it's kind of got that vibe going on. It's cool. I'm really into it. It's a fun little watch. The characters aren't all that great, but hey, we got waifus. We got a main character who's not completely competent, but also not completely incompetent. He's right in the middle, but he kind of leads on that he knows a little bit more than most. So I'm into it. Like I said, not going to be the greatest show, but still a dang fun watch. You'll definitely be entertained if you like other Battle Royale-esque shows and Classroom of the Elite kind of thing. That kind of vibe. Good stuff.
Cool. Well, with that, do we want to jump into it or take a break?
Oh, we could jump into it. We're recording in 1080p right now, and
so our
we're
camera
plugged
will-
in, so it's not going to overheat on us.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So spoiler warning now.
Yes, spoiler warning for One Punch Man, which is incredibly old at this point, right? Like a decade old. At
No,
least
it's not. A decade?
The season 1.
Came out in 2011 or 2012.
There's no way. You're lying. It's not 2011. It's got to be like 2014, 15.
Let me look.
2011, that's way too old. There's no way it's 2011. No way it's 2011.
I was thinking like 2013.
I'm
2012,
going to say
2013.
the manga maybe started 2013, 2014. Anime was 2015.
The manga started in 2012. The remake. The webcomic in 2009. 2015. Yeah.
Was the anime?
Yeah.
Okay, at least I was right on the
So
anime.
8 years. Which is, I don't want to say it's that old, but 8
It's
years is
pretty
a long
old.
time.
Yeah, I knew it was older, but yeah, it's pretty old. But yeah, the webcomic, what it's based on, that's way old. 2009, that's insane.
Yeah.
One Punch Man was one of those shows when we first started this where I was like, awesome. I really want to watch it. Plus, like, you guys got me hyped up, especially you, Cole, when you were showing me all the manga covers. I'm like,
Dude,
yo, these look so sick.
The manga covers are sweet, dude. It's freaking Yusuke Murata. He's got such a good art style. It's so freaking good. That man is just like...
He doesn't...
I don't know how that man lives.
He hits.
He like doesn't sleep or something because he's doing way too much effort.
He doesn't cut corners or do like any techniques. He goes full throttle.
Yeah.
And then above, he makes other established manga artists look like children's drawings.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
If you start reading the manga, like, yeah, you're gonna see like, oh shoot, this guy does not play around, and he loves drawing the hot girls too. It's awesome.
Well, you guys have shown me some out of context panels of like some of the later chapters. I'm like, yo,
it's so cool.
But then seeing it in like some of that esque stuff just on smaller scale in the
Yep.
anime, I'm like, yo, this is dope as hell. Which makes me sad hearing that season 2 sucks.
I mean, people say that. I didn't think it sucked that bad. I have notes on this. I don't think I actually have them on my phone. I think I wrote them somewhere else.
Who's doing season 3? Is there any...
Nobody knows.
News?
They've just announced that it
Yeah.
exists.
Well, I think regardless, and this is spoiler alert for my thoughts, I think I'm going to watch season 2 on my own just because I enjoyed this one so much.
I don't think season 2 is personally that bad. I didn't notice bad animation back then. Granted, I hadn't watched a lot of anime back when I had watched that. That said, I feel like most people just don't like it just because it doesn't have an ending. It does leave on a relative cliffhanger where season 1 could literally be wrapped up with a nice bow, and that could be literally all you'd ever need to watch about One Punch Man, and it'd be done,
You know, and I don't know if there's a hot take, but I think I like Murata's art style, character design better than another person who's like more realistic, Takeshi Obata. I don't really like how he draws like women's faces. They look too doll-like.
Oh, doll-like.
And like,
what's Obata done?
Death Note.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Bakuman, all that stuff.
Yep.
His art is especially not very appealing in Platinum End. Yeah.
Cole's got some thoughts.
I've read the whole manga.
I read half of it and I was like, this is garbage.
I was committed. I
Man.
have them physically, and I just kept going with it, and the ending was very disappointing in my opinion.
Well, anyways, back
Sorry,
to One
back to
Punch
One Punch
Man.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I had some final thoughts for thing too.
Oh, it's
Go for
probably one of the best pilots of a show. I don't know if it's called pilot, just like first episode.
Yes. Yeah, and I really quick looping back to the season 2 stuff. I like I said, I just think a lot of it becomes just there was a cliffhanger. We haven't gotten another season yet, and a lot of people don't jump on the manga right away. But anyway, going back to what Thane was saying, episode 1 is freaking killer. It is so dang good. It's probably one of the best episode 1s in all of anime. That's literally what I was thinking as I was watching it. Did you have more to say, Thane?
I just like how I established that. Yeah, this guy can kill anything in one punch, and it's really boring for him.
His life is, which is funny. I love the parallel from episode 1 throughout the show till the very end with the final boss. But anyway, One Punch Man essentially is just a like parody slash. What's the other word that I'm looking for?
A meta commentary?
Yeah, there's another word.
Deconstruction.
There's another word that people use all the time. It's in the same vein as parody, and it's just slipping my mind.
Satire.
It's a satire take on superheroes.
I wanna argue that. I don't think it's satire on superheroes. I think it's just satire on shonen manga in general.
And that would make sense. I guess I'm comparing it to superheroes because I'm an American.
I think they're just using superheroes as their medium. Yeah. Mind you, this is before My Hero Academia essentially as well. So like superheroes weren't really a thing over there, so they were just using something. But I think I've got a lot of thoughts on it being a meta commentary for shonen as well. But did you want to keep going? I'll get that later.
Yeah, I was just gonna go through and kind of do the rough, the outline of it, I guess.
Go for it.
But yeah, it's kind of like a satire slash meta commentary on shonen or superheroes as I translated it. And it's really, really fun and also makes you take a step back when they portray specific things with superheroes. They put it on a pedestal right out in front. You're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely a thing that I'd never thought about until now. Because like Thane mentioned, Saitama is the main character. He can kill everything in one punch. That's why it's called One Punch Man. And his life is incredibly boring. And you go through his kind of mundane, monotonous life of him learning that there's more to being a superhero than just him wanting to be a superhero for fun. And I don't know, it's pretty fun. Like all the battles are really fun. The art's cool. The music slaps.
Everyone else is living like a horrible life, and since he's pretty much indestructible, it's like doesn't faze him.
No, he doesn't care. Like, he just reads manga.
He literally lives in the area that's been quarantined for normal civilians.
Yeah,
because the rent is like super cheap.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I think One Punch Man, for me anyway, it's very surface level, and it was just a hoot and a holler. Like it's just exciting. It's exciting, dumb fun for me.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about my my whole theory on the meta commentary behind everything, and the reason what made me think about it being more so about shonen rather than just like superpower kind of thing, and it's the fact that Genos exists. Genos is your shonen protagonist. He is your Naruto, your Goku, your Ichigo, your I guess even Luffy potentially, but he is that character. He's super strong. He's super the guy that keeps on going, you know, the guy that doesn't give up. He'll keep going and going and going till it breaks him down and he can't go no more. He also does all these training things. He goes back to get more upgrades for his robot parts. He does all the typical shonen main character protagonist stuff.
He has a sensei.
And then he just gets dumped on by Saitama every episode. And it's just like that right there, he literally the original writer, basically what it seems like what he did, he just saw all these shonen things and wrote a shonen manga and then added an extra character named Saitama that was just one up everything essentially all the time to dump on other shonen things. And Genos is the carrier, the vehicle for that dumping to other shonens.
He's kind of like also a slight jab at like overpowered protagonists like Goku, who like he's kind of like in this world he's undershadowed, where in another world he'd be like super, like he'd be like the only person who could save it and everyone knows. And in this one he is the only person who could defeat some of these monsters, but
he still loses.
nobody knows who he is, and He and everyone thinks he's stealing credit from other superheroes.
Are you talking
it's
about
Saitama.
Yeah, Saitama.
Oh, okay.
Genos also has the sad backstory too, by the way. I forgot to throw that trope on there as well. So there's literally got every single trope you would need for a shonen protagonist, and he's just the side character.
Yeah. I guess for me, another reason I feel like this show hit is because me personally, I am very, very burnt out of superhero movies and TV shows. And this one is just like, yeah, I can see why, because of all these different tropes. But it's really, really fun, too.
And that's why I really, really like Speedo Sound Sonic, his like interactions with Saitama specifically, because he is that guy that's trying to be the superhero, like super strong superhero movie kind of cliches, and he just can't get past his wall, which is Saitama. Saitama's just like, bro, I'm not even trying, and this guy's trying so freaking hard to get past him, but he can't do it.
Freaking Sasuke.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Sasuke. Yeah. It's really, really funny. And then the final thought on the whole commentary about it all that I had before getting other things is just Moomin Rider is the opposite of that. So Moomin Rider is Saitama's foil, essentially, while Saitama is Genos' foil. Because Moomin Rider is the exact opposite of Saitama. He's incredibly weak. He can't do freaking anything. He's just kind of
on a bike.
He's just on a bike living, trying to help, doing his best to do what he can. And it's just super interesting. The dichotomy between all of the different casts and stuff is just super clever and well done. And you could tell it was calculated why he made these characters the way they are in such little ways. Especially because they're side characters. You don't see them that much anyway. And you don't really see them out throughout the rest of the run of the manga, honestly. You will see them here and there, but it just makes me laugh how it all works out.
Well, they in the show, they get very heartfelt, prominent moments, like the part where Lumen Rider's fighting and Sea King.
Everybody's cheering,
and everyone's
like,
"Do it!
You can do it, Moomin!
Yeah, only you can save us." He just gets freaking wrecked.
Instant. The music cuts out on the punch, and he's just like dead. He's just on the ground, and they're just like, what do we expect?
Yeah, and then Genos gets a lot of those too. He gets several battles where it's like, "You can do it, Genos!" Ripped to shreds, just destroyed.
And that's like the shonen protagonist kind of stuff. Like you see that. Granted, in those shonen animes, you would see Genos be able to overtop it and be like, "Okay, I'll do one final push and win the day." Whereas in this case, he can't. He's literally like half dead. He's literally just a torso,
with the spine.
Yeah, his spine sticking out. Then Saitama has to come save the day because he's farther past his limit than most shonen protagonists ever get.
And I love, and Thane already mentioned it too, Saitama's life is so boring, so nothing really gets him excited, and that's kind of how he carries himself. He's very nonchalant, monotone, boring, and his reactions to everything, the comedic timing, in my opinion, is just off. It's on point.
That classic meme where when the final boss, the alien guy, is like powering up, it's like, I'm at my ultimate level. He just stares and goes, okay.
Cool. You know, in Apex Legends, that when they did the anime crossover, I had that hologram that just says okay.
Yeah.
It's got the little Nessie guy says okay. That's what it's referencing.
Yeah.
It's just him going
okay. Yeah. Did you have anything else on the commentary you wanted to mention?
No, that's all my thoughts on the meta commentary of One Punch Man. It's really, really fun just to think about it like that.
I think another thing that I really liked, I mentioned it earlier, but it was the parallel between Saitama, whose life is incredibly boring because he's God, and then the final boss at the end,
Boros.
Yeah, Boros. His life is he's literally just looking for a fight. He's like, the prophecy says that I'm gonna find the guy. And it must be you. And it's kind of fun because I think during the fight you get a little bit of Saitama's like, this is okay. Maybe
I do have to try a little bit. Yeah,
maybe 2 punches, game over. And he's like, dang it.
Well, so Boros is the first thing that can take a punch. He took 2 of his normal punches,
and then a bunch of consecutive
normal punches, and then the big punch is what killed him.
That's true. So it was more than 2 punches.
The serious punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've always thought of Boros as the strongest thing he's had to fight, even in the manga till now. there's one character that kind of rivals Boros' power level, and I think a lot of people would say he's probably stronger than Boros. But I'd have to reread that part of the manga just to see how like serious Saitama was in that fight, because I don't remember him being super serious in that fight either. And as a result of essentially fighting the thing that does kind of counter him pretty early on in the story, it leaves this really weird gap for the entirety of the rest of the manga, in my opinion only, that what does Saitama do anymore now? And honestly, like, Saitama kind of takes a backseat a little bit. And it's really weird to say that, because the other heroes, like, they get more fleshed out and you can see more stuff with them. But I'm really curious about Saitama specifically. And I think just the first, I think that's why season 1 is also so good, because you do have Saitama. He really does feel kind of like the main character. After this, he kind of doesn't feel like the main character that much. It just feels like there's a huge cast of characters.
I wonder if it's because he has nowhere to improve.
I think so, yeah.
And it's like, how do we make this guy whose life sucks interesting? Which I'm assuming, based upon season 1, what they do is they just continually have more bad guys and put him in funny situations and try to be comedic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of that. The next arc is incredibly big, and it leaves on a cliffhanger in season 2, and that's where it's kind of like 2 arcs in one, essentially. But they're technically the same. I don't know. It's really weird, but yeah, it leaves on a cliffhanger there, and so a lot of people were wanting to see more of that, and you do get a lot of what you said in between, like during that arc, but it is technically an overarching thing of like a full storyline. It's really strange to describe it, but I don't know. It's interesting. It doesn't, like I said though, it feels like there's other characters that take like a more prominent role. And that also might be why people don't like season 2 as much as well, because that definitely starts in season 2, just where the story kind of goes. I don't think it's bad, though. That said, I do want to mention, I do not think it's bad. I still really enjoy it, and I still love reading the manga every time it comes out.
Yeah, these seasons, they are kind of focusing on Saitama more.
Yeah.
And, like, all the other stuff going around him. They're trying to involve him more in the seasons, like one's like, oh yeah, it's called One Punch Man. Although I think his other his franchise, Mob Psycho 100, as a story, I think is better because it's more cohesive. It's about Mob trying to figure out his psychic powers. He's pretty strong, but he's not like the strongest until the very end.
If we're comparing the two, I would say, Mob Psycho definitely has a better overall story, but more like entertainment. I think you get more entertainment out of One Punch Man as a whole.
One Punch Man's more grand spectacle.
Yeah.
That's probably because like in the manga has like Yusuke Murata's art.
And I don't know how it works. I think Murata actually does like adjust the story and stuff. I don't know how much one adjusts the story.
One supervised story. Said
he supervises it?
He made several of these arcs that are in seasons 2 and 3. He made them longer than what was in the
Murata
webcomic.
did?
And one. He said he extended them.
They together they did it?
He extended them.
But yeah, really cool stuff. I've got one final thought, and it's just Saitama's actual training regimen, like it hasn't happened in the manga, but I really want to see someday of somebody just trying it.
Someone did. I saw a video. It's like,
no, not in real life. In universe. I want to see somebody do it in universe and see if they also get the same powers as Saitama.
It's what was it? 100
sit-ups,
squats, push-ups, and a 10K run.
10K run. How long is 10K?
I think it's like 6 miles or something, 7 miles.
Yeah. That's an average strength workout. Strength
That's what they say in the anime.
Yeah.
That's why Gino
so
slaps
mad.
at him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, if Gino's tried it, that's what I want to see. I want to see if Gino's tries it. Sure, he's a cyborg. I don't know how much of an effect it would have on the human parts of him left over, but like, what if, what if these guys just randomly started doing his regimen and like they become just as strong as him? They just kind of laugh it off. And I also think it's partly because they don't want to have to explain the power system and how he's that strong. By not having anyone else ever try it, they don't have to explain anything. They just leave it as it is.
Yeah. I think that's another thing that cements this one for me too. Because after like episode 1, and I think he explains it in episode 2 what he does. I was like, oh, I wonder if like 200 chapters in, they'll be like, oh, this is actually where he gets his powers from. But I'm like, no, they're making fun of superheroes.
That's literally how we got him.
And I think it's hilarious and it's great. And I love the idea of not explaining it because it's like, yeah, that's what it is. Welcome to anime. This is our anime BS.
It's good. It's really good stuff. Like I said, the whole story, even past the anime, I think it's a lot of fun. I think season 3 is going to be really, really cool whenever that comes out eventually. If you guys want to keep watching it, I would recommend it just because I enjoy it. And if you liked season 1, you'll still like the series post season 1, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of season 2, I have a little special something.
Wait, is this about One Piece or One Punch Man? I had 2 more thoughts.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's about something else.
Okay. Yeah,
it's post-show.
I'll wrap it
Wait. Don't before you. I get to pick the show this time, don't I?
You picked before me.
What I picked before you?
I thought I was picking.
I thought it was my turn.
Well, I guess we'll have to look.
Okay.
I'll look it up while you start doing your stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
So the only other thing that
I thought it like went like the way where it's like.
I'll look it up right now, Thane.
I thought it was Thane Me Cole.
Yeah.
I don't remember, dude. It's been so long since we've had like a legit like.
Literally.
Yeah. The seating order was like, oh yeah.
The last one we did was Kids on the Slope.
Oh, then it is you.
So it is me.
Oh.
Because technically we did Suzume, but I didn't pick Suzume.
Wait, I was right. Yeah, Thane Me Cole. Okay, I was right.
Yeah. So I am next. Sorry,
Never
Thane.
mind. Sorry about my Wii. I was gonna pick an anime. From
You got all
Wii,
excited.
Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
So
You'll get them next time.
The last 2 thoughts is I saw it a lot, but the square explosions. I always look for those in my anime
I
now.
told you about them?
After you told me, I was like, I look for them now.
What is this?
It's the animator. I don't know their name, but there's an animator that's one of the freelance animators that basically does every studio. Mm-hmm. If you see an explosion and everything, the particles explode into squares or cubes, it's that animator every single time. That's how he animates. He just uses cubes as explosions. And like occasionally you'll see other animators have to like use those cubes and stuff because he did it. And so they have to follow up with like having the cubes and stuff on the ground. So it's like, why are there just cubes on the ground?
You can look up, there's compilations. I think you showed me one on Twitter, like the explosion compilation of the squares.
The cube squares. Yeah. It's when you notice it, you won't ever not notice it. And there was a lot in the like specifically the final battle. So many cubes.
Yeah, and I was ever since you told me that in all the shows I watch, I look for it.
Yep.
And it happens more often than you think.
So often, dude. So often. It's the same animator every time. That's like their signature. They do the cube explosions.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I just wanted to throw out there, and I'm assuming this is intentional and not just me digging too deep, but there's a lot of characters that I'm like, oh, there's the JoJo character, there's a Dragon Ball character. Is that what looks like it's from Yu-Gi-Oh? And then the guy with the bat, I was like, he looks like he's from like Yu Yu Hakusho or maybe like an 80s one with a very plain looking character.
Yep.
He kind of looks like another character from Mob Psycho, the guy with the pompadour. Like he copied those 2 characters.
Yeah, I thought that was
that's
hilarious.
just the stock Yankee look,
like the greaser kind of aesthetic.
Well, after saying that out loud, though, going back to what you said at the very beginning, how this is a satire on shonen when they just took all the shonen protagonists.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah,
you're right. It is a satire.
They
on
also
shonen.
like have a big buff black guy.
So did you like?
Not actually black if you read the manga.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Spoiler.
Oh well, it's not a spoiler. It's just like
a
backstory. What the heck?
He's really tan.
That's what it is. I think it's tan.
He's just really. He got buff and he got really tan.
Yep.
He's Japanese, but he got really buff and tan.
Did you like Pretty Prisoner?
Yeah, he's JoJo.
Yeah.
He's the JoJo character.
He's the JoJo character.
Or I guess Fist of the North Star.
Well, he's more JoJo because he does the poses.
Well, he's got the freaking hair too.
Yeah.
The crazy hair. Yeah, after seeing that, I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious."
I guess he also does the Sailor Moon transformation as well. Pretty Prisoner does when he
turns the angel wings.
Yeah,
the
angel wings
transformation, or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, and saying that out loud, you're totally right. This is a very much a satire take on shonen, which I guess is like the Japanese equivalent of
100%,
superhero.
yeah. I mean, what did we have? We had comic books and superheroes. That's
Yeah.
literally what we had here.
Yeah. Real good though. I think I gave One Punch Man like an 8 out of 10. Like it's good.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very surface level entertainment.
Literally though, if like say you only ever want to watch season 1 and nothing else with One Punch Man, you can do it. Like, you could stop here and just never do anything else with One Punch Man and get an incredibly fun time. You could keep going and get a lot more fun stuff, but if you felt satisfied from this and you don't want any more, good stop. Good stop right there. Season 1 of One Punch Man's freaking phenomenal for that.
Which I feel like there's a healthy balance because, like you're saying, yeah, you could totally be done. You're just like, yeah, this is good. But there's also a few little crumbs and some
There's
setups.
some small strings, like the whole
metal armor. Or
yeah,
armor
the
knight.
metal knight.
Metal Knight.
They're like, he's like, that dude tells Genos to look away from Metal Knight or whatever. Yeah.
He's your enemy.
But then there's just like a few cute characters too, like the psychic chick.
Oh, I freaking love
Yeah,
Tatsumaki.
I'm just
dude.
like,
Yeah.
oh, she's
She's best girl.
Tornadus, is that what her name is?
Tornado. Terrible tornado.
She's gonna be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I think her alone would get me to keep watching. I mean, I like Saitama, and just his personality, I think, would get me to just keep watching.
So in season 1, you got a glimpse of her sister, but you don't actually see her very much until season 2.
Which one was she?
She's basically Tatsumaki, but with black hair and big boobs.
She's
You
much
saw her for
taller.
like half a second. She's much taller too. She's like normal sized.
I don't
She's
remember.
younger than Tatsumaki though.
Yeah.
Because Tatsumaki's like 28 or something like that. And Blizzard, what's her name?
Fubuki.
Fubuki. She's like 24 or 5 or something.
Yeah, this is definitely a show that I think I'll keep on with.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun. Really good. I'm glad I finally watched it. When I feel like when people talk about anime, One Punch Man is always in there. It's one of those staples.
It's like the classic staple, like Attack on Titan, or it's not like the old classic staple. It's like the newer genre, newer era of classic staples. Yeah, totally. It's one of the shows that I watch to really get me more into anime for sure.
I guess if I ever do my parents watch anime again, One Punch Man will be on there. I think my dad will really like that.
But it's funny because didn't your dad say like he didn't like it or something, or
Anime?
no? Well, yeah, but One Punch Man.
No, he never saw it. No, it was one of my uncles. He watched One Punch Man like 5 or 6 years ago, and he was telling me about it because he knew I watched anime. He's like, "Oh, have you ever seen this one?" I'm like, "Wait, you watch anime?" He's like, "No, I don't, but Netflix told me to watch this one and said you'll like it, and I did."
Also, Bill Burr, the only anime recommended by Bill Burr, comedian.
One Punch Man.
Yeah. He has that whole bit. If you just look up Bill Burr, One Punch Man, it's one of the funniest things.
I'm gonna have to go watch it.
I don't know what Bill Burr is.
He was from Breaking Bad, red hair guy. He was the lackey with the big fat black guy. Those two.
With Huel.
Oh, they're
yeah.
laying on the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Bill Burr.
Okay.
He was also in an episode of The Mandalorian. I saw.
Yeah.
I watched
he
the episode and
is.
he's like, "That's Bill Burr."
Jack Black was in there too.
He was in. When was he
And
in an
Lizzo,
episode?
I think.
He's in the newer season.
Oh yeah, with Liz. Yeah, I've heard about Liz.
I watched that clip. It was very cringe.
Yeah, I've heard.
It was
like,
very un-Star Wars like.
They add a non-actor
Maybe.
into a Star Wars movie. I'm
It's
like,
like
a Star Wars show. And I'm
what's
like,
his face? When your legs don't work like in
Ed Sheeran.
Game of Thrones.
Ed
Ed
Sheeran,
Sheeran in Game
yeah.
of Thrones. They literally have him singing too. He's like playing the guitar and singing. I'm like, this is so stupid.
See, I feel like
Yeah.
cameos like that kind of totally break the immersion. Not kind of.
Yeah.
It breaks the immersion. But One Punch Man doesn't. One Punch
Yeah.
Man, it delivers
stupid
on
cameos.
what it set out to do.
It sucks you in. You stay for the whole ride.
Yeah. But that's it, everybody. That is the show. Thanks for watching. Before we go, though, Cole's got an announcement.
It's time for me to pick my show. And guess what? You've already heard the name of it this episode. We're going to watch Sword Art Online Gun Gale Season 1.
Is it a 12 episode?
It's 12 episodes.
totally standalone.
P-Chan.
P-Chan, let's go! So I watched this while it came out years ago for some reason because I was early into anime. I was liking it, and I'm like, oh, I love Sword Art Online. There's a new Sword Art Online. I gotta watch it. I watch like episode 1. I'm like, this is not Sword Art Online. I watch episode 2, and every single week I'm like Saturday morning. I'm like, let's go, P-Chan. So it's a fun show. I think you guys will actually like it. It's like I said, it's in the world of Sword Art Online, but it's not quite Sword Art Online. It's hard to explain. It definitely has very Sword Art Online like moments, but it's still like it's fun. And plus it's battle royale.
It's that one game Pavlov, but in battle, but
Tarkov.
Pavlov.
What's Pavlov?
You know what Pavlov is?
Like,
it's just a VR. It's a VR game.
Oh, I didn't know. I think when I think Pavlov, I think of like the researcher that does like the tests, like the bring the bell when you have the mint.
I think that's kind of what it's named after, but it's just a military shooter in VR.
Oh,
that's what I was going at.
It's fun though.
Yeah.
I think you guys will actually like this anime. It's fun, and now there's a season 2, so I'm excited about that too. That's all I got. Look forward to it.
That's the show, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Always appreciated. Feel free to subscribe and leave a comment down below what you think about One Punch Man, or if you have any recommendations of any of the weekly shows that we should watch that we're not currently watching. But other than that, we're also on Spotify. You can listen to the audio version. If you're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. You can see our faces.
We're literally anywhere you can pretty much get podcasts. I got it on like Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, so it's there.
Pandora, Amazon.
Ooh, I don't know if it's on Pandora.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on Amazon either. Sorry. Most places you can get podcasts.
But that's it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And have a good life.
We'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.